Hi, it's Martina.
It's Simon.
And it's our 7th month in Japan.
Welcome to Eat Your Sushi. This is actually going to be the last time we say 7th month because for the next 2 weeks, we're actually going to be out of Japan. We are visiting our family. We filmed this episode in advance, so it's not spoiled by the time this episode is published. We will already be in Canada and our family will already be surprised.
So if you have seen us in Canada and you're like, that can't be Simon and Martina, it was
Hey, your hair looks good. It's all ready for Canada.
Oh my god, thank you. It's because I just cut it. It's the first time I cut it in like 6 months because I've been terrified.
You've just been letting it grow like hippie people. Like as soon as your hair almost touches your that's when you know that you should probably like get out your giant harp and start like wearing like flowers around your head and like singing to the garden gnomes.
So essentially I haven't cut my hair in like seriously 6 months because it's really scary to go to a hair salon for the first time. The salon culture in Japan, there are more salons sometimes I see than coffee shops. But what I read online about it was that you always have to make a reservation in advance because they're usually quite booked. So I found a salon online. Turns out they had online reservation. Once you go through all the process of filling out your information, you click to the page that asks you to pick a stylist. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know? Well, don't worry. They have a page of pictures like it's some kind of a dating profile.
Yep.
They had about 24 people listed and they have everyone with their glamour shots being like,
hey, I like to cut hair.
It tells their name. It tells you how long they've been cutting hair for. So I chose somebody who in their option for hobbies, which they have listed, enjoyed watching the YouTube.
That makes sense. I think it's really smart how they tell you what the hobbies are because sometimes like when you get your hair cut and they try to like have conversation with you, it's really awkward. But if you know what the person's hobbies are in advance, you could pick somebody that the conversation will not be awkward with. Since we know a bit about YouTube, this might make sense.
So I made my reservation and I went into the place and I had practiced all these phrases that I learned. I messaged all my Japanese friends and I asked them like, what should I say for dead ends? What should I say for like
split ends?
No, dead ends.
They're called split ends.
They're also called dead ends.
No, they're not.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Why not? Since when?
Since the beginning
in the
of
comment
time.
section below.
Look at any Pantene Pro V commercial. They are like, you have split ends. They never call them dead ends.
Why not? The ends are dead.
Because dead ends are what happens when you drive on the street that you can't leave. That's a dead end.
Hey Siri! Whatever. I wanted to get rid of my dead split ends. And I had practiced like all these different phrases. And then as soon as I sat down and I had to look at the guy in the eyes, it all
of that went out the window.
And I went, damagey!
So damaged! Cut damage!
He looked at my side shape and I was like, all right, Martine, you got this. And I went, buzz, buzz!
Freestyle! Okay? Turns out that it was actually okay. This guy was not nervous. He knew what he was doing. He didn't butcher Martina's hair, and he actually, you know, gave you a decent haircut.
Buzz, buzz, freestyle.
But I think that's a very important thing to know, that even though you practice and even though you got really nervous and forgot everything, you're still able to get your point across by going chop, chop, buzz, buzz, freestyle. And then you still get your point across.
And he thought I was Borat. He's like,
wowie wow.
What a sweet, sweet dog.
You got his tummy, he'll kiss your wrists.
Not the best looking dog, but he'll do. Oh, what a sweet boy. Oh yeah! This may never end!
My arm is actually getting tired.
What happens if you stop touching the tummy?
The world will explode, I can't stop.
Roger!
I literally use those back legs.
Sweet little tornado. His tail is wiggle back.
You see his two little legs flop when he sneezes?
Yeah.
Oh, you sweet boy. You got an itchy tummy? Yeah, you go boy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What is happening right now?
I don't understand. We had a very special moment happen to us a couple weeks ago in which we were at our house and the doorbell rang and it was one of our neighbors. It wasn't the grandma that we're trying to kidnap. It was another neighbor that you might have seen when we first walked Spudgy, and there was the other dog that he played with. Atom. So he's Atom's owner. Anyhow, he ding-donged our doorbell and he said, hey, would you like to go grab dinner sometime? Which was really amazing because I've never had any of my neighbors ever ask me to go out for dinner. So this was a very bizarre and special and heartwarming thing to happen. And then we wound up planning a specific date, which was supposed to be Monday at 5 p.m. And as soon as we agreed to that, I ran back inside to Martina like, oh my God, imagine you're in high school and like the quarterback asks you out for prom. It's like, oh my God, the neighbor just asked us, look, all right, we're middle-aged people. We're very residential. This is a big deal for us for our older neighbor to ask us to go eat together for dinner.
Are we actually middle-aged?
I don't know what middle-aged is.
You said we're middle-aged people. Isn't middle-aged like 50 or 60?
No, what is middle-aged?
You said we're middle-aged people.
What is middle-aged?
Dan, what's middle-aged? Yeah, we're not middle-aged people.
All right, fine. We're not middle-aged, but you know what? We have the hearts of old people, okay? Look, we are like
with
70.
My pink hair and my side shave. Speak for yourself, all right?
Okay, fine. So we're not middle-aged, but
we still got asked out by the quarterback.
We still got asked out by the quarterback. Oh my God. Anyhow, we went to a sale with our neighbor for dinner, and it was wonderful, and we sat together, and we ate a lot, and we drank a lot.
And you know what's amazing?
What?
Is that he's been living in the neighborhood for 40 years.
Yes.
So when he came in, it's like everybody knows him.
It really felt like I felt so connected with our neighborhood, being there with our neighbor eating dinner, but that is all now probably gone and shattered because the problem was he wound up ordering some shochu, and then like he showed us how he drinks it with some club soda and a lemon twist, and then it was delicious. It was delicious. Yeah. Except he kept on ordering more drinks, and as we finished ours, he'd be like, "Oh, let me order another." But I think he kept on trying to keep up with our drinking abilities, but I don't think he understands that we pretty much were raised in Korea. Look, alcohol to us, I feel like Bane talking to Batman. You adopted the darkness. I was born into it. And then you picked up the old man and broke him over.
Somebody's much older than you. Yeah. It's very rude for you to say to them, like, you're cut off. Like, you can't do that.
Right, because if this was in Canada, I know the social norms. I'd be able to say, okay, you've had enough. Let's try to drink some water. But I didn't want to be rude in Japan for the first dinner I've ever been on with my older neighbor.
The point is that we felt that uncomfortable, like, how do we say something? For all we know, he might drink like that all the time.
Maybe.
It just felt very nervous because he is much older than us. So by the time he wobbled out of the place and we wobbled out of the place and we said bye to him, he actually took his bike there. Which to me, I just pictured the worst.
So,
we're really worried that...
Thank you, old neighbor, for the one memory we shared together. I hope your family isn't watching this.
I hope that you're okay.
I hope that you're okay.
I sincerely hope that we aren't joking about this and you aren't okay. What a strange looking plum, don't you think, Simon?
Kinda.
So we bought plums maybe a month ago, would you say? And they were some of the most amazing plums we've ever had in our entire lives. They were purple, which we're used to from North America, but they were a lot rounder and they were just like magic sweet and tart and they tasted like a candy plum. And then we were like, oh, there's more plums for sale, let's get the plums. But they're like this weird shaped plum and I was like, oh, I'm sure they're perfectly fine. Bit into one of them, they taste like totally average, okay, like above average, but like normal plums that are kind of tart. But it came with this informational guide talking about the different plums of the season. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So the first circle plums you see there, we had, and they were incredible. And now it's like, wah, 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 wah. We're down the ladder to these long ones and they're just totally basic. What? You're over duck. You're zooming in my face. What?
And because we're about to be traveling to Canada now, it's time for the weekly challenge! I remember when we were in Korea, they had a lot of names for countries that didn't necessarily sound like the country name that we know. So for example, I'm pretty sure Australia is something like Hoju or something like that, and America is Miguk. You can't really guess a country name by seeing the Korean word. I wanted to know if there's anything like that in Japan as well. Dan said there is, so what Dan is going to do is he's going to give us a country name in Japanese, and we're going to have to guess what country it actually is.
Oh.
And the loser gets a punishment.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
You're going down, Simon. I'm so confident from all the times that I've...
The first one is Kankoku.
Kankoku?
Hope that's Canada so bad. I want to be like, I'm from Kankoku.
I'm from the Kankoku.
Kankoku. Okay, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Korea.
It's Korea.
It's Korea. Boop, boop, boop. You know why? Because I thought like Hanguk And Kok, maybe the kok and the guk
And
are
the koko,
similar.
and the
Koko. Okay, so Kok is Korea.
Okay, all right. Ken
All right.
Next one is Indo.
Indo.
You want to say Indonesia, but then you feel like he might be tricking
Is
you
it
into India.
India? Or is there? Are you giving me the short
Are you
version?
trying to trick us here?
Is there a longer
Dana's
version?
giving us a totally.
Is it just Indo?
Okay, ready?
No, I'm not ready yet.
What is your possible 3,
Okay,
2,
2,
1?
1, India.
India.
It was a trick question.
It was because Indonesia seems like too easy of an answer.
What's Indonesia in Japanese then?
Indonesia?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Am I right? So
Off to a
Indo
good
is
start.
India.
Martina's 2 blocks behind.
Down
Simon,
2.
Coming from behind. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Scott Sterling!
Scott Sterling!
Austria.
Austria.
Oh, come on. Austria is obviously Austria. Why are you doing this to me? And then he said
Austria.
Australia, and he went, I'm reading it wrong. So reverse psychology, did he read it that way? Because he knew it was Australia. He secretly said Austria.
Austria.
I'll copy it.
Are you ready? Ready?
1, 2,
3. Australia.
Oh, it's Austria.
Oh!
Coming from behind is Martina. It's 2
Okay,
to 1.
it's Austria. So Austria is Austria.
Next one, Chugoku.
Oh, they're 2 different words.
Chuoku or Churoku?
Chugoku.
Chugoku.
He just changed this word twice.
Chugoku. I know.
Okay, you're gonna say something about gooks because it sounds a lot like Korean has a gook in it too.
3, 2, 1, China.
Yep.
Is it? Oh, this makes sense.
Okay, we got the gooks in.
Okay.
I was right. I almost fell behind.
Is this the last one? Yep. Okay.
Igiris.
Iris? Giris.
Igirisu.
Igirisu.
That's a harder
Iceland.
one.
3, 2, 1,
1,
England.
Iceland.
England.
Yeah! You got whomped in that one, girl.
I was only 1 behind.
You still got whomped.
That's not a whomping.
That's still a whomping.
A whomping is like
Look,
5 to 1.
if you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
No.
I'm gonna try cheesecake. Cheesecake. This is one of my first kitties ever.
This was from the woods.
Yes, we found cheesecake in the woods 14 years ago, and now she's old and fat. I've always been a cat person.
What a happy cheesecake.
What a happy little cheesecake.
Oh,
yeah.
Cheesecake falls over from happiness.
Let me just say, I don't remember cheesecake like this because when I used to live here, cheesecake bit a lot. Yeah. Look at you, chewy. Chewy cheesecake. Oh, yeah. Ow! Claws!
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the cheesecake I remember.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember. Wow. I got this girl. Oh, I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a winning streak. It's time for your punishment.
Please no.
Where'd you put it?
I burnt it.
No.
No one knows what punishment is. Simon, what punishment could you possibly be looking for?
Did you toss it?
Maybe. I might have tossed it. Why would you ask? What is it that you're looking for? Should I help you with your looking for things?
found it.
Oh.
This week's punishment comes from a package that we opened for last week's Magical Mail Time. They are Martina's favorite things, Dickies. These are little turtlenecks without the rest of the sweater. It's just Martina's least favorite part of the turtleneck
I'm
altogether.
pretty sure I cut those apart.
Yes,
in
and
a
you
Music
tossed
Monday,
them.
didn't I?
See, look at this. Doesn't this look like a foreskin?
A lot of
Hey,
people,
baby.
a lot of people were asking what the point of these were, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be so that you don't have to wear an entire sweater out. Like
Well-
you're cold, and so you just want to wrap up your neck. I would say use a scarf and suck it up.
Yes.
But some people have invented
Some
this
people-
torture device,
So-
which will be taken back in time amongst all the torture devices. There's that spiky filled like Pharaoh box.
Yes.
And there's like the guillotine and like
Yep.
the fingernail puller, and then there's the frickin' Dickies.
The freaking Dickies.
No,
The loser is
please,
supposed to
no,
wear 2
no.
Dickies.
What did you say too? How about
That's
just
what we
one?
agreed on
Just one. I
yesterday.
agreed upon nothing.
Yes, we did last
No.
week. Girl, put on your Dickies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's time to get dinky.
It won't fit over my head.
Get dinky.
It's
Time
impossible.
to get dinky.
I'll just wear it like this.
Come on, put it on,
It won't
girl.
go any further.
Yeah,
It's made for a
it does.
child.
Come on, put it
won't.
through.
See, look.
Oh yeah. Get dinky.
Funny.
Get
Oh,
dinky.
it's
Time
such
to
a
get
turtleneck.
dinky.
One's enough.
No, we're putting on 2.
Sir, one is enough.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm so happy. Martina loves turtlenecks. For those of you that don't know, turtlenecks are Martina's favorite clothing in the world. If you ever want to send anything, just send her turtlenecks non-stop. You don't even need the rest of the sweater. You can just send her the foreskin part like that. It's totally great.
I love turtlenecks.
Turtlenecks. No, you gotta keep it totally up there. That's yes, the most fashionable.
Turtlenecks are
the worst.
No one should own a
clothing.
turtleneck.
They're the worst.
Unflattering.
They're
I look
like
a turtle. Where'd
if
my
you
neck
had a
go?
choice between turtlenecks and assless leather chaps, go for the assless leather chaps rather than turtlenecks.
I wonder if this is going back to trauma from when I was in a car accident and had to wear a neck brace.
Could be.
Nah, I hated them before that.
Nah,
I
it sucks.
absolutely hated them before that.
Okay, I think it's time we answer some questions. The first question comes from Megan Blake, who says, do you guys ever immensely miss North American food? Or since you lived in Asian countries for so long, has your palate switched over to Asian cuisine, which is small amounts of cravings for North American food? What do you crave, girl? Tim Hortons is a craving that never leaves us. Now that we're going back to Canada, the first thing we are going to eat are those jalapeno bagels with the BLTs and a double-double. No, not a double-double. We never get a double-doubles. No, because that's got too much sugar in it.
Hey, I hate to break this to you.
What?
The jalapeno bagel is probably gone by now.
No, it
That was
can't be.
probably, like, a
No,
specialty
this like
thing.
it's part of our heritage. This
No,
is
it was
like
never there when we were growing up in high school.
No, but now it is. This is important. That jalapeno bagel
By the way,
at
it's called
Tim
the
Hortons-
bagel belt. Get it right?
The bagel belt. Yes, it's
bacon,
fine.
egg, lettuce, tomato.
That's a thing that I crave the most. I crave a really good Eggs Benedict.
Ranch? Was that the word you were
No,
looking
because
for?
people standing here just fine, so I don't have that craving. Eggs Benedict with some good hollandaise sauce when you like cut into the egg and it goops. I haven't found a good one here in Japan yet or in Korea.
Remember in Korea, we tried to go to this place that had really high ratings.
Yeah.
And we went for Eggs Benedict, and Simon got
And they gave us like a
mayonnaise
hard-boiled
with
eggs
mustard.
with mustard. It was just, what the hell was
It was
this?
yellow,
Terrible.
so they're like, I guess it's. I'm
I
like, that's
guess
not...
no, not all yellow sauces are the same.
No. I will say though that we enjoy our Tim Hortons, and then by day 2 we're totally over it because
Right.
I just think that there's something about going through drive-through and going to like a 24-hour restaurant and having that kind of food that I miss. But it's almost like the act of doing it
Yeah,
that I miss.
it's not really the taste that we miss as much as the environment. Driving to a Tim Hortons early, being there with all the truckers, like that's a vibe. You know, it's like the food tastes better being there. You know,
One of the big things that I miss, the atmosphere that I miss, is a 24-hour diner where the woman serving me is like, "What do you want?" and like smoking even though you can't.
Yeah.
And just she's been there the whole night, and they
yeah,
like
their
give
hands
you-
all dirty and they just rub it on their
You know.
aprons. Like I miss that gross negligence that
Yeah.
comes with North American diners. Here in Japan, everything is very clean and done right. It's a good thing here, but sometimes I miss that rawness of like, you know, you're just about to be shut down because you don't meet the quality standards. That's what I'm missing.
Well, I mostly miss things like that coffee cup that never ends, like
Yes.
the refill coffees for like $1.25.
Exactly.
And, like, sitting with your friends after like a long night and like just like eating food together, like that kind of vibe I really miss.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that it's really hard for me to think of foods that I extremely miss.
Yeah.
Except for other weird Asian foods. Like I really miss Canadian Chinese food.
Yeah.
I miss Chinese food so bad, guys.
Chinese food in Canada. Right.
Because
That's
we've
what
only
I
been
miss.
to China once, so I can't say that I miss Chinese food from China since it was delicious.
It was
but I
delicious.
mean, like, I don't know how to miss
But it wasn't Chinese food.
Chinese food.
What is this bullshit?
My egg rolls.
Where am I just?
Where's my sauce that looks
Where
like
are my
it's
chicken
radioactive?
balls? This ain't Chinese food, China.
My God, there's fresh herbs in here.
What is
off
this?
the table?
People often ask what kind of foods we crave the most when we
5 a.m. and you fucking know. Video time.
It's 5 a.m. now. Because of jet lag, I've been wide awake since 1 a.m.
Because of jet lag or because you went to sleep at 4 p.m.
I went to sleep
to
at 4
get up?
p.m. It was great. I had a really big sleep. And then I woke up at 1 a.m. and I started reading about investment banking. And then I got really hungry, so I went to Tim Hortons because this is the only thing that's open right now. And it's great. I love it here.
Except the jalapeno bagel's gone.
The jalapeno bagel's gone. I have to get the sun-dried Asiagos.
Easy egos.
Asiagos. The second question comes from Riri.
I feel really sad right now.
And she asked, Dear Son Martinez, since you now no longer live in Korea, will you ever tell us what's behind the mysterious room in your EYK office in Hongdae? Time travel we know, but what else?
I mean, time travel. Wasn't that enough for you?
This seemed like this would be the perfect opportunity because we'd always touch the door and then we'd be like, and we'd go in front of our green screen and be like, oh my God, I am in the Sweden.
What do you mean? We traveled in time.
Yes.
Those are my special effects, by the way.
Yeah, high quality editing right there. Funny story about the studio.
Personal laugh inside his own head.
When we wound up leaving the studio, they wanted us to take down the Eatyourkimchi sign, but we said no, because when we moved into the studio, we had to take down the previous company sign.
So we had to pay the permit to like put the thing on the
our
road
own money. So whoever comes to the place now should pay their own money to take down our sign.
And so on and so forth.
However, they haven't done so, so our sign is still up there. It's been like almost a year now since we left the studio.
That's great.
And
Eatyourkimchi studio will always be a part of Korea.
As for what's actually behind that door,
drum roll please.
Paint cans. Lots and lots of paint cans. And they're actually, when we came in there, like I think our construction company actually left all of the paint cans in there.
Yeah, they dumped stuff secretly on this balcony.
They just like dumped all their garbage in there. Like our construction company made a nice studio, but they took so many shortcuts. They actually dumped garbage in the ceiling tiles. So they lifted up on the tiles, shoved shit back there, and put the tile back down.
We paid for a garbage bin. That's why we paid for that gigantic bin.
So then for that room, they actually just like threw all their paint cans in there and just left it. So we could never actually...
the people that came in after us were like...
Your problem now, buddy.
You need to take out those paint cans. And I'm like, what?
What paint cans?
Anyways, the paint cans, that balcony was actually a balcony with a glass window that opened, and it opened up onto the parking lot where our car parked. And it was my fire backup route because this studio had definitely no safety regulations. There was one stairwell that went up and like a gate that someone had installed, which, I mean, you could get you trapped behind it. There was the ceiling, like the rooftop, and that's it. There was no two stairwells. So if there's a fire anywhere, you cannot make it out of the Eatyourkimchi studio.
Fire safety was not an issue there. It was actually one night that we were in the studio and the fire alarm went off. We thought, oh my god, there's a fire. So we grabbed our animals, we grabbed our computers, we ran downstairs. We called the fire department and they came and they went upstairs and they looked and they're like, yeah, I don't know how to turn off the bell for your fire alarm, so we're just gonna cut the cable. So it's still going to be ringing, but you just won't hear anything.
And I was like, you didn't even check the rooftop. Like, I saw them go to the roof, and they tried to open it, but
it
was locked.
It's locked, so I guess there's no fire, and that's it.
Meanwhile, there could have been a fire.
There could have been a fire.
Anyways, the whole point of the fire rant was that the balcony was our fire escape. If there's ever a fire and we have to get out, we're going to take these cables.
Yeah, we could jump down to that building's awning and then jump down this way. We might get hurt, but this is our way out if we need it.
Martina had it all planned out.
There you go.
The mystery has been revealed.
That is what's behind the door.
Probably still paint cans.
Yeah. That's why we can never actually fully open the door either.
So we bought plums maybe a month ago, would you say? And they were some of the most amazing plums we've ever had in our entire lives. They were purple, which we're used to from North America, but they were a lot rounder and they were just like magic sweet and tart, and they tasted like a candy plum. And then we were like, oh, there's more plums for sale, let's get the plums. But they're like this weird shaped plum. And I was like, oh, I'm sure they're perfectly fine. Bit into one of them, they taste like totally average, okay, like above average, but like normal plums that are kind of tart. But it came with this informational guide talking about the different plums of the season. So the first circle plums you see there, these ones we had, and they were incredible. They were incredible. And now it's like, wah, 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 wah. We're down the ladder to these long ones, and they're just totally basic. So for last week's skill testing question, we asked you to talk about one of our fruits videos.
Yes.
We said this video about fruits. Which one is it?
And a lot of people wound up giving the same answer about the super expensive fruit one, but some people answered some other ones too.
They got clever and swifty,
yes.
if you will. My favorite winner is...
Your favorite winner? There's one winner! You are our favorite of all of them.
Is from Ishana Maini.
Ishana Maini.
Isana Mini said, on our bonus channel, when we were in Bali, we did a video on food and street talks, and we talked about the fruit that we had. They're like the oranges that had the sweet juice inside. We saw pineapples growing and tons of stuff like that. She's like, you had a crap ton of fruit experiences on that trip.
There you go.
And we did.
Very good answer.
That was a really original answer. I don't think anybody else mentioned Bali. So congratulations.
Yes.
Please send us an email if you are the winner, and we will send you out a capsule toy.
For this week's skill testing question, we ask you, in what videos did Martina express her dire hatred of turtlenecks?
I hate turtlenecks.
Those are some really old videos. I'm not sure if you've actually seen them, but if you know what they are, leave your answer in the comment section below, or on our website, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram. We check everywhere, and we will pick one winner and mail out your package. Not next week, because we'll be out of the country next week. I don't know when we're going to answer your next question.
So in a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks.
Well, I'm going to go cut these turtlenecks off my neck since we're never going to use them again.
No, you got to just keep them on, girl. Just
it's awful. I feel like I'm being constricted on the throat. Like, I feel like...
Hey, how about we go open up some packages and maybe we can have some more turtlenecks. Remember, mail us all of your turtlenecks.
Don't mail us turtlenecks.
Mail them all.